Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Dalmar, and together with my co-host Mark Roner, just Statewide News Service and jbiztechrelate.com, and now the columnist for the Jewish Press.
Right, Jewish Press is a national Jewish publication, and I read a column called Albany Beat to tell the entire Jewish community around the country, you know, what's going on and how the government here relates to the Jewish community, or doesn't, as the case may be. And speaking of government,
right, we
have, for the first time here, we're honored to have, well, I was going to say Tom Landry.
The former football coach.
There you go. But no relation, right?
No.
So, you know, Joe Landry is the Niskayuna town supervisor, and welcome to the Jewish View.
Thank you. Welcome.
And you are also the chairman of the Schenectady County Democratic Committee as of last November, I believe?
That is correct.
Wow.
A little bit earlier, maybe September, October.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
As of the end of 2014. So,
yes. Mm-hmm.
And you had hair before you became chairman? Or?
I haven't had hair in a long time, so I can't blame the loss of hair on that.
Okay.
I'll just have less hair as I go along.
So is this congratulations or condolences?
So far it's congratulations.
Okay,
I'm
good.
still enjoying it.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Well, you know, you talk about the Democrats, Mark, but really Niskayuna always, and I've been here for a number of years in the Capital District, was very much Republican.
Yes.
So maybe part of your work that you made into Democrat, obviously you're a Democrat and head committee. So is there a reason for it? Can you, I mean, you'd probably say the Democrats are better, but besides that, I mean, I just, again, because I'm in Bethlehem, and it's really the same story. It was solidly Republican, and now it's solidly Democratic. Is there an idea behind it? Do you know the reason for this?
One thing we do in Schenectady County is we get good candidates. We believe you have good candidates, you have good government. And we have made a very good effort in going around and, you know, soliciting our candidates, getting good candidates and running good campaigns. And we have very good people in Schenectady County and Niskayuna running our government. I mean, I'm very blessed to be working with, you know, 2 town board members that are, you know, up for re-election, and we have, you know, really 4 good town board members, and every year 2 of them are up. And they do a great job, and they represent the community. We try to pick people that are representative of the community, that are involved in the community, that are parents, that have children that are going, you know, that are at our schools. So, you know, we've done a good job, not just in Niskayuna, but all around the county, in taking representative people and placing them in government so that they have an idea of what government should provide to our community.
So if you're single and no children?
Now we have those, but we like people that have been, you know, we have single, no children people that are candidates, but
they don't fare as well in the polls.
What I find is that people that are involved in the community, that are invested in our community, that have homes, that have children in our schools, children involved in various activities, whether it's the arts or the sports or the clubs at school. That have, you know, if they've grown up in the community, that's another plus. But those are the people that make the better candidates. They have a very strong base. You know, they have the 2 or 3 core bases that you need. You know, they have their job base, they have their, you know, social base, and they have their school base.
Well,
and
I've always noticed that when people run for office, it's after they've gotten married or after they've had a first child. And if you look at the state legislature now, I mean, just this year, I think the assemblymen, there's been 5 new births among the assemblymen this year. Of course, they're the younger house, so they.
Right.
But I'm just saying that, you know, there are very few elected officials who are single and childless.
I think you get a better perspective. I mean, I have 3 children. They're all older now, but I think you have a really good perspective of what your community should do and what you want to provide to your community when you have children and when you're living in the community.
Well, and Rabbi Simon says, when am I going to run for office? So I've got to get married first, I got to get kids, you know, I got to rent a kid, you know. So Rabbi Simon keeps wondering if I'm going to run for mayor of Albany or not. So.
Okay. Well, good luck.
You know, about school, I remember, you know, of course I deal with, even though, like I say, I'm in Bethlehem, I deal with Jewish community throughout the Capital District and in New York. And one person once, he was in Niskayuna, so you could tell me, it was a joke. Obviously, it's a Native American name, but he says, you know what it means? I said, no. He says, the land of high taxes.
That I have heard, yes.
That's what he told me. So that's part of the school taxes, but are the taxes higher? Or, I mean, again, you can equate, probably that's what I'm bringing out, Niskayuna maybe Guilderland, Bethlehem, these suburbs of, in the suburban areas. I don't know how
I think
they
you have to
relate.
look at the services you're getting. You know, you base your taxes upon the services you get. Niskayuna is like a small city. I mean, we're very small. We're only 14 square miles, and we have 23,000 people that live in that town. But it's just like an urban community. We have all the services you have in an urban community, whether it's, you know, you have your water, your sewer, your police department, the parks, and then you have the school. I mean, our school is one of the top 25 schools in the country. So what you have is a great opportunity to live, a great place to live, and a great place for your children to go to school. And like I said, I have 3 children that have gone through the school system, and they have great opportunities. 2 of them are out of school, and 1 is still in college right now.
Were you born in Niskayuna?
I was not born. I was born in upstate New York.
Well, that's Niskayuna. But
No, way upstate New York.
like what?
Way up, almost by the Canadian border. I'm originally from Plattsburgh, New York.
Oh, Plattsburgh.
Yes.
The city proper, or just
Right outside the city.
Peru?
No, Cumberland Head, if you're familiar.
Cumberland Head, okay.
Yes, that's where I grew
Mark
up.
knows everything about
I
New
do,
York
yes.
State. You're not
Okay.
going to trick him over
All
here.
right, so that's where I grew up, and it's a little bit of a rural area, and Plattsburgh, you know, was our local city.
That's right.
So-
And there's a Chabad house in Plattsburgh now.
Just brand new. Well, there's a SUNY place.
Yes.
I wanted to, so I know there are no census numbers on how many Jews are in, you know, Niskayuna or whatever, but just generally, do you have an idea? Because it's a relatively heavily Jewish population. As the Jews are spread out throughout the 16-county capital district, there's no
Correct.
one, you know, clear defined area that's Jewish, but Niskayuna seems to have...
I don't know the census numbers
No, there
either.
aren't any, that's
And
what
I don't
I'm
know if
saying.
there are, but there is a very large Jewish population in Niskayuna.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the temples, you know, that are,
Right.
you know, right in the area. So, I mean, I believe there are 3 or 4 right with either in Niskayuna or right next to Niskayuna. So we have, you know, quite a few people that are of that faith.
No, I
and-
mean, but do you get a gut sense of whether it's 15, 20%, or if it's 5%, or?
It's
Yeah,
hard to say,
really?
you know,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I work with many people, you know, from the Congregation Gates of Heaven, the JCC, you know, I see
Agudath,
Kim, they have a great carrot festival
But,
there.
no, I've seen it.
Have you been to the carrot festival in the
Every
fall?
year.
Yes, it's a
year.
great festival. I go to that every year, you know, so.
They send the police to get you if you don't show up for that.
Yes.
Because
We just had that,
they
yeah.
want to make sure you're healthy, because if you don't come to the carrot festival, they know something's
And if
wrong.
you don't have any
You
carrot
are-
cake.
You are definitely one of the mainstays and one of the regulars there. So
Yes,
keep up
yes.
the good work.
Thank you. And then, you know, we just had our cherry blossom festival
Yes.
over at the congregation. They have a race, and you know, it's quite a big event over there. So, I mean, there's a lot going on. This year I missed it. I like going to the food tasting events over at the congregation. Every
Gates of Heaven.
Gates of Heaven, they have that, and I missed that this year. I've been one of the actual judges at their matzo ball soups, you know, and
Contest,
Yeah,
yeah.
the contest. So I've had fun, you know,
And you're learning about Jewish culture and life
Yes,
and,
yes.
along the way. So,
Exactly, you know.
and also Beth Israel, Congregation Beth Israel, the Orthodox synagogue.
Yes.
They just had an installation of a new rabbi recently. I think you sent words of congratulations
Yes.
or whatever. So Rabbi Kelman is wonderful. So
Yes.
if you
I couldn't make the event, but I
Yeah.
believe I sent a
yes, you should get to know him a little bit better.
Good.
He's an Italian flavor to his. In fact, his wife, usually we call the Rebbitzin, but with her, she wants to be called La Rebinessa.
Okay.
And she does everything with an Italian flair when she cooks the food, and the pastas everywhere, included in everything. And
Should have her on the Jewish View, but we don't have a kitchen.
we don't have a kitchen to do that, so we're working on it. Maybe a grant from Niskayuna would help. No.
Oh, okay. Well, no, we'll go to the higher government. We'll get a grant from the state. You know, you're closer to the capital here.
And the Schenectady JCC is very special to you, I understand.
Yes, it is. I mean, they offer a lot of programs. You know, I've been to many events there. You know, they actually sometimes even have the debates of the candidates there. So I've been there and met a lot of people. Mark Weintraub is the executive director, and he's a very good guy, and he's doing a great job. And the board of directors is made up of a lot of the local people I know that I'm familiar with. You know, like I was telling you earlier, Michelle Osterlich is the president now. Andrea Golub was before her. So there's, you know, quite a few people in the community that are very active at the JCC, and they do a great job, they work with our school system, provide a lot of the aftercare, and they do have the summer camps.
One of the mainstays. I mean, what are they? They're 90 years or something, or whatever.
I believe it's 90 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's before you and I.
Way before you and I, yes. And hopefully they'll be there another 90 years at least.
Well, they say, may you live to be 120. They didn't say, may the JCC be there for 120. They say, so another 90 years, that'll be great, 180, So.
There you go. You can know your math already.
Okay.
Yes.
STEM. That's the math. So what are some of the larger issues in Niskayuna? It's not always a quiet, sleepy town. So.
No, it's not. I mean, this time of year is a very busy time for us at the town. I mean, we're getting ready. We produce a lot of programs, a lot of summer programs, and we do a lot of things for our residents. I mean, so this year we have a whole Office of Community Programs that's putting together all the summer programmings. We have a summer camp. We have 500 or 600 children every week that are at our summer camps. We use our parks in the morning for our summer camps. We're putting that together right now. That starts on July 6th. We have a town pool that'll be opening in early June, June 13th, I believe.
Does it cost town residents anything?
It does cost town residents, but we have a very reasonable season's pass. It's only a couple $100 for the family, and you can go every day, all day if you'd like.
What's it for an individual?
We have daily passes. I believe it's like $6 a day if you just show up for the day.
So you don't have a season pass for an individual?
For an individual, I'm not sure. It's $100 and some dollars.
See, I'm childless, so I
yes.
wanted to...
Okay, it would be a lot cheaper for you.
Yeah, you married over here, Mike.
Once you move to Niskayuna, I'll give you the exact price.
Okay, I'm looking.
But no, we have that going on. We have a lot of summer camps we're planning. We have quite an extensive program that is put together by our community programs director, and she does a great job. And even tomorrow night, we have a mandatory meeting of all our lifeguards and everything, and I'll be speaking to them, getting them ready for the summer. So we are very fortunate. We employ almost about 150, I want to call them children, but they're not children. They're, anywhere from 14 to 22 years old that work for our town in the summertime. And
that's great.
It's a great opportunity because a lot of these children were involved, whether they went to our summer camp, so they end up going to the summer camp, and then when they get older, they look for jobs as counselors at our summer camp. So
do you have a policy of no texting while lifeguarding?
We do have in fact, I don't think they have any phones while they're lifeguarding. Because there's water around and we don't, they could drop it. But we have them. We have them very active.
Well, I would think the phone would be a useful tool if you needed to get in touch with.
Well, not by the pool. The pool is we have the phones in the building. They put their phones in the adjacent building. So there are phones available, but yes, you're not supposed to be texting while you're lifeguarding.
Okay.
So, but you have access to your phone. It's right next door in the building. And,
what's the town budget? What's the size of the?
The size of the budget is about $25 million.
How much do you get from state aid?
State aid, very small amount from state aid. Towns do not get a lot of money from state aid. We get highway money of about $150,000. It's called CHIPS, and then we get some per capita aid of about $300,000. So.
Yeah, just comparing that and not the budgets of Guilderland. I mean, again, you have to equate the population also, but is that the same amount of like all the different suburbs around?
We are. Yeah, I mean, if you look at you got to look at the population, and that really drives the budget.
And you said you're 28,000.
23,000 about.
23,000 residents?
Correct, residents, yes.
Bethlehem is like 33.
Wow, so, and you have how much $1 million budget?
About $25 million. A lot of it is.
Does that cover everything?
That covers everything. That covers everything from the police to the parks to the staff.
Do you have surplus at the end? Or?
We try to have surplus. I work very hard to have surplus. We have a fund balance, and we try to keep a very healthy fund balance in all our budgets. You have the highway budget, you have the general fund, and then the special districts, which are the water and sewer. And we try to keep a healthy fund balance.
Rainy day funds?
Yes, because you never know what's going to happen. We had, we can even get hurricanes. We can have hurricanes up in this part of the state, which I didn't think you could get. So things like that happen, and we have to be prepared. So
and you also have Niska Day.
Niska Day is a very large event in town. It was just a couple of weeks ago. And
Talk about what happens on Niska Day.
Niska Day is, it sort of starts the season in Niskayuna. It's usually the third Saturday in May, and it starts with a parade at 10 o'clock. Everybody starts over on, it's now St. Kateri's. It used to be St. Helen's Church on Union Street in their parking lot.
Well, that's across from Beth Israel Synagogue.
That is correct, right across from that. And all the floats and all the people that are marching in the parade start there. And the parade winds through town and it ends up over by the high school on Balltown and Knott Street is where it ends. Right in front of the co-op is the reviewing stand where I sort of end the parade, and I just go there and watch the rest of the parade as it comes through. We're usually put in the front of the parade, and the parade is anywhere from about an hour and a half long, and it's a very nice parade. And the fun thing about the residents in the town is they just come out of their houses and can stand there and watch the parade go by. And one of the things we do in Niskayuna is, if you're in the parade, you have some candy, and it's given to all the children along the parade route. So children get a lot of candy that day during the parade. After the parade, then we all, then everybody goes over to our soccer complex, Craig Elementary School, and all those grounds are where we have the tents. There's business tents, non-for-profit tents, and then there's rides and games and activities and shows for everybody that go till probably 6, 7 o'clock, and then it's topped off by fireworks at the end of the day.
So can I make a suggestion?
Sure you can.
Okay. Observant Jews wouldn't go to Niska Day because they're at prayer, and you're having this start right across the street from an Orthodox synagogue. Is there any way that maybe 1 year is Sunday, 1 year Saturday, or make it, I know people go to church on Sunday,
right.
So maybe starting at 1 o'clock after church on Sunday, is there any way of, to incorporate more of the observant Jewish community into Niska Day and have some sort of change?
We can always, this is put together by, it's called NCAP, it's the Community Action Program, and they're always open to suggestions. I can bring that suggestion back to them and see if we can work with that. It's, as long as I've been here, it's always been on a Saturday.
I know,
so,
it has been. And it's one of those things, Larkfest is on a Saturday, and I even say to them, make it 1 year Sunday, 1 year Saturday, and it's just that the Lark Bid, which runs Larkfest, has had a changeover, a frequent changeover of executive directors. So there's never a consistency. So they just keep going with what they do, and no one's there to make change.
Okay.
So that's a whole different story.
Right.
But with you, there's in Niskayuna, there is you have the observant Jews who go to services every Saturday morning from 9 to noon. Right. So when you start at 10 o'clock, that's right when the services, we're taking out the Torah then or whatever. There's, something happening of a high magnitude, religious high magnitude, and I would really ask that you consider or bring back to the
I can
NCAP.
bring it back to NCAP, yes,
right.
and let them, because the Niska Day is put on by NCAP,
okay,
and which is a total, like you said, it's a volunteer
and I'll
board.
bet you there's no Jews on that board. I'm just joking.
I bet you there's many on that board.
I'm just joking. So. Anyway, so that was my little pitch to.
Sure, we can do that.
The Jewish view.
I
So
really,
we have to have something Jewish.
What would you like to see change in Niskayuna, and what haven't you done yet? Because obviously you're going to run. You keep running for re-election, so what's your you have a purpose, you have a mission. So what else still needs to be done?
What we did, one of the things was a lot of economic growth in Niskayuna. And in all of Schenectady County. What we have done in the last, 7 to 8 years is you've seen a lot of rejuvenation in Niskayuna. And what I mean by that is, certain things like different areas in town. We have some real commercialized areas in town that were sort of lagging and not really fully developed. When I first came into office, one of the areas that needed a lot of rejuvenation was what we now call ShopRite Square, and that was almost an almost vacant shopping center that really didn't have a lot of activity. And
What's that, Balltown Road?
That is up Balltown Road.
LT's Grill is?
LT's Grill is there.
And with Jewish-owned business.
Yes.
That's how I know it. Okay.
And LT's is there. And also there's a lot of other stores. Okay. But when I came in, the major portion in that was vacant. And one of the themes, one of our campaigns was we were going to get a lot of businesses in there. The first thing that happened is ShopRite moved in. Right. And with ShopRite moving in, a lot of other businesses has come in there. We now have quite a few new businesses. Whether it's TCBY, whether it's the Starbucks. We have LTs in there, and they filled up the back. The office in the back is office space. We have that is filling up, and we're looking at that being almost 90% filled in the next 6 months. That's so great. that's gonna, we're looking at a new restaurant coming in there. We're looking at another retail establishment coming in. So that's happening right now. We worked very well with the landlord. We also had another area. We have Mohawk Commons, which was there when I came in, but across the street is called Mansion Square. Right. And that's
where you had to move the house.
That's where the house moved twice. Yes, we moved the house twice. We preserved the house, yes, and kept it. It's a very nice old house that is a mansion, and it moved 2 different times. One time it moved, and they came in with a nice development, and they were going to make it part of the development. But then a new tenant came in who they didn't tell us who the new tenant was, and it was Walmart Neighborhoods Market. And they wanted a different portion of the property, so they ended up paying to move the house back almost to where it originally was.
Oh, yes. Is that what happened?
Yes, it's a little off where it was before, but it's almost in the same place it was where it started. So the developer could have saved a lot of money by just shifting it over 100 or so feet, but it had to move twice. So
this is like when you try to map out a furniture in the new living room, and you say, no, the couch should go there. No, it should go a little bit more
Correct.
here. It's like
but think of moving a house.
I know.
And an old mansion that was built in the early 1800s without ruining it.
They don't build them like that anymore.
No, and so that ended up working out where they moved it back, yes. And Berkshire Bank is in there now, and the facade is exactly like it was, and they made improvements. But you walk in, and it's a state-of-the-art bank, and it looks very nice. And that complex is filling up now. I mean, we're getting a new jeweler in there. They're telling me, they're not giving me names, but I know a jeweler is coming in there, a restaurant's coming in there, and that's going to be completely filled this summer. So that is done. Now we have.
So these aren't businesses that you go out and try to recruit. These are because some municipal officials go out personally and try to recruit, but you don't go out.
The developers we have are very good in recruiting. I mean, they come into us, and we help them with all the approvals they need for the buildings and what they're trying to do, and zoning and all of that. And they come to us usually with the tenants. Okay. Sometimes we work with them and say, could you put this here or that here? But most of I would say 99% of the time, they're coming in with the tenants, and they know what is coming.
They come to you and the tenant, or
they come to us with the building and the design, and the tenants always come later on. These are new buildings, so they're not there, so they come in with a new building design.
So they have to. The city write off on it.
It's wonderful that you don't have to go out and try to pitch a business to come to. Right. Niskayuna, that they're coming there first. It's an affordable, it's affordable living. It has the, I guess, the critical mass of disposable income. I mean, there's all these factors that businesses take into account when they decide to move somewhere.
Yeah, Niskayuna is a very good area.
Niskayuna, town of Colony is booming like that. So more power to you. I mean,
so yes, I mean we're putting it. The tax base is increasing. We're making these available. We're working with the developers, and they're getting filled. And then we have one last area in town, which is on the other end of town, is our Commerce Park, that recently was purchased by a new developer who is a very aggressive developer who's responsible for a lot of the downtown Schenectady development, and is also the developer that was recently working with the casino, Gillespie. Gillespie is now David Bucco is now working with us because they just bought 100 acres in our Commerce Park, and they already have 3 tenants. 2 of them they've announced. They have a company called TransTech that's building a 40,000 square foot building in the Commerce Park. We'll be employing 20, 25 people. They have another company, Automated Dynamics, that's coming in.
Where is around the Commerce Club?
It's on Hillside Avenue in Niskayuna, right at the new armory that was just built in Niskayuna. We have an old armory, and the military, the armory just came in, and the National Guard, and built a new armory right on Hillside Avenue. If you go, are you familiar with Balltown Road in Providence?
Sure.
Providence, right before you get to the JCC,
Sure,
you take a left.
Sure.
You take a left on Providence, and then you take a right on Hillside. And that is
around
Hillside, and that's where our Commerce Park is. It's a very large industrial complex, and we're putting some sophisticated companies in there that, TransTech is a company that makes instruments for testing of pavement. So, these are high-tech jobs that are very, good jobs that are coming into town. And we have a third company that's looked at it. We're almost there, and we believe we're going to have 3 brand new buildings within a year or so that will bring jobs to Niskayuna, and then we're going to work with Gillespie to keep putting people back there. So David does a fantastic job. I know him well, and he's a very aggressive developer.
And I knew Francesco also. So
yes, and I've met him a couple of times. He's a nice guy, and they're very happy with the casino downtown. So that's that will add to their.
Talk about that really, because they were talking about impact of a casino. Sometimes there's positive, and then people talk about negativity. Crime goes up, and so is it gonna? I mean, how do you feel? You're positive about it, negative?
We are very positive because Gillespie was putting a very large development down there anyways. He had been working where the old Alco site was to clean that up. That was a brownfield area, and he's been working to clean that up over the last couple of years anyways. And he was going to put a marina in there with apartments, restaurants, and other amenities, with the bike trail. So he had that going on, and then this whole casino opportunities came via the state, and he had about an extra 25 acres adjacent to that. That was phase 2 of his development, and he now, accelerated that and applied for the casino, and that's going to go in there. So it's not like we just wanted the casino and went for the casino. They were redeveloping the whole waterfront, the old Alco site anyways, and this will just help redevelop it. The casino, I think, is going to be a big boon for the city of Schenectady, the county. And what I mean by that is it's going to attract a lot of people to the area. It's not a very large casino like the big casinos you see in Las Vegas or Atlantic City. This is I don't want to call it a neighborhood casino, it's a smaller casino, and you're going to get a lot of people that are going there from within the 50-mile to 100-mile radius that'll just go there for the evening or for the weekend.
What did you think of Jim Featherstone's comment the other day when he announced the Saratoga Harness was expanding or building their hotel? And they said, well, how does this impact Schenectady? He says, well, I don't know, Western Schenectady, I don't know who would go there. And, he go off, flippant comment like that. I thought it was kind of offensive, but.
We like Western Schenectady, I mean, the city of Schenectady. He's somebody that was trying to get a casino. He tried a couple of different ways, and he didn't get it. So whether it's sour grapes or not, those are comments we expect from him. But we're very positive with what we're doing. I wish him luck in Saratoga County, and we'll see what happens.
There's enough room for both.
We believe we can all work together, and we were very fortunate to get granted the casino, and we're going to work very hard to make sure it happens.
You don't see anything I mean, really, that's not in Niskayuna where you are.
No, it is not.
But do you see any, like I said, I asked, positive ramifications for it? I mean, maybe hotel rooms or? Oh,
you're going to see, there are, the hotel rooms. Niskayuna, what we'll see is a lot of people will be living in Niskayuna that may be working down there.
Workers,
So you'll see a lot of employees that now will be working down there, living. We're more of a residential community.
Right.
Also, you always have the sales tax. We would be a beneficiary of any, some of the sales tax. The county's the sales tax.
Once the county goes up, you get a piece of the pie.
Yes, so that is a positive. the direct money coming from the casino will go to the county and the city. However, we will have a benefit because of the activity. You're going to have a lot of people working down there, a lot of people going down there, whether they're, eating, dining in the area or living in the area, we'll be a beneficiary.
Oh, is there anything that in the last minute we have, is there anything you wanted to mention that we didn't know enough to ask to bring up and, you might want to bring up and mention?
Now, one thing you didn't talk about, we are very active with our residents, and we have I started talking about all the programs. We have a lot of programs for our children, and we a very, very good job with that. We also work with our seniors also. We have a very active senior center in Niskayuna that meets twice a week. It's at our community center on Aqueduct Road, and we have a lot of programs for our seniors. I wish I could take a lot of the trips they do. They're doing. If I only had the time. We transport. We have a senior bus, and they visit a lot of local areas. They come to Albany. They come to Schenectady. So I mean, we do provide a lot of programs from the youngest to the oldest in town.
Okay.
So.
All right, so very good. So you're doing a good job, and over here,
Thank
keep
you.
on going, and the continued success, and doing for the good people in Niskayuna and all our neighboring towns also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.